All right, cool. So Diane, thanks for doing this interview. So you've been a program member for I think 7 or 8 months now.
Yep, that's correct.
Beautiful. Could you just let everyone know how old you are and
I'm
why you come into the program?
I'm 61 and a half, and I came into the program because I've been seeing psychologists and psychiatrists since the age of 15. I spent over $40,000+ and got nowhere, and read something with you on Facebook, and I thought, well, this is my last go. So I enrolled, and everything started from there.
Beautiful. And before seeing me, what were you experiencing? Was it anxiety? What type of anxiety?
I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety, health anxiety, agoraphobia. Yep, those three conditions.
Yeah, and for anyone who doesn't know, the last one, that's where you can't leave your house, yeah?
You can't leave the house, yeah.
Yeah, cool. And what did you find, like, before seeing me, like, going to see the therapist and all that? Like, describe that to me. Like, was it working? Was it not working? What was going on there?
It wasn't working. I had a complete nervous breakdown when I was 38, and I was under psychologists. I even had psychologists stay with me in the house every night for a month. I got nowhere with anybody. I was confused. They put thoughts in my head and ideas of things that didn't happen because I was just so vulnerable. They tried medicating me. I tried to slash my wrists. I tried to run in front of trucks. And then I just gave up on it and just tried to go through life as best as I could.
Yeah, you just tried to live with it, really.
I had to live with it because I couldn't spend no more money with the situations that were going on in my home life. And and I knew medication, I was going to kill myself. There was no option for me. I couldn't go that route.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I couldn't go the route anymore with psychiatrists and psychologists because they didn't know how to help me, and they just put me in their too hard basket and said, you know what, we can't deal with you no more, find someone else.
Yeah.
And that's what I did for the last 20 years.
Yeah, yeah. So you come across, I think, my ad or something, I don't know.
An ad on Facebook, and
Yeah.
I read about it, and I just had a gut feeling that, hey, this guy might know something. You know what, I'm going to give it a go. I've got nothing to lose. And that's when I contacted you and I joined the group. At first, I found it really overwhelming because I've had anxiety from 5 right up until, still now. And then I started with you when things started connecting. I was asking you questions and you were messaging me back. And, things really, took a whole different turn.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I'm not saying I've lost anxiety. It's always going to be there. But, no, I've improved. If I had to put it on a thing, I've improved 90% to what I was.
Beautiful, yeah. And what was your concerns before you joined? Were you just thinking this is just another thing that won't work?
I thought it's not going to work, and Aaron's going to send me a message and say, Diane, you're too hard to manage. You need to go elsewhere.
Yeah, yeah. And so you said it's improved. So since joining the program, how would you say because anyone watching with this would be like, oh, you still get anxiety, but what we teach is like anxiety is not really a bad thing. It's how you look at it and how you do. So your anxiety levels before
I was always in freeze mode. I never got down from there. Ever.
Yeah.
I had anxiety 24 hours a day with symptoms 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 12 months of the year.
Yeah. And now how is your anxiety, if you're honest?
To be honest, my anxiety has gone really low.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone past the freeze. I've dropped from the fight or flight. There's some moments I get it with situations.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I'm a different person. I manage myself better. I'm happy. And I'm so much calmer. I feel so different to the person I am today. And I think because you never dismissed me, you never put me down, and you encouraged me. But what got me through was I love learning.
Yeah.
and you knew how to teach, and something with the way you were talking in your videos resonated with me that it's never done with anybody.
Yeah.
So once I got the trust in you, and I was always waiting for that message, Diane, I don't need you in the group, you're too hard. But when I never received that message, I thought, wow, this guy doesn't think I'm a bad person. He doesn't think I'm too hard, and he's going to help me.
Yeah.
And once I got my trust in you, and I have big trust issues now, but I really trusted you so much and learnt so much. Yeah. And that was the beginning of my journey, was your
Beautiful.
trust and my faith in you, and those one words, you're too hard to handle.
Mm, yeah, it's a big thing for a lot of people coming in with anxiety, that they it's hard to trust someone. It's hard to put your faith in something. So,
And when you have professionals telling you, we can no longer see you, that's doctors and psychologists and psychiatrists, that was hard.
yeah.
But you never ever said it. You've always
Yeah.
encouraged me.
Yeah.
And I think I've got so much trust and faith in you, but I really can resonate with how you teach, and it actually sinks in.
Mm,
Like, for the first time in my life, things sink in because you do it a way that I can personally understand, because I've had so much trauma in my life. Everything's just been so overwhelming, but you broke me down in barriers with how you explain and do things.
yeah. Thank you.
And that's being honest. That's,
Yeah.
that's not putting you on it, like
Yeah.
crawling or anything.
Yeah. I appreciate it. And what would you say the biggest difference is between me and, because here's the thing, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a therapist. I've gone down a different road of modalities and what I've learned. What would you say is the biggest difference between all the professionals you've seen and what I do?
Professionals saying they've never experienced anxiety themselves, which you have.
Mm-hmm.
They've never ever, they've talked about my past, but they've never ever gone to how to heal the past, the ego, the inner voice. They don't do any of that. They just tell you to do 5 things: smell, see, touch, whatever. They never ever got me and never ever explained about the work that you do.
They don't go
And
deep enough, yeah?
I can tell you, I've sat 30 odd years with psychiatrists and they've tapped their fingers on the table. And the response is, well, haven't you got a positive answer to that? No, I don't. But your inner child work, all the work you've done, here's what people need to do today. Yeah. Honestly, forget psychologists. They don't do it, and I can verify it. No, your work is incredible, and you break down all the barriers. Like, I would have never thought about I've never been shown to go inside myself and do deep breathing and go back to that age, and never, ever. And I've been to the top ones in New South Wales. Never.
Yeah.
Your teaching is the only way, honestly, to go. If you want to get better, you've got to do it the way you're explaining it. And that is honest, because the psychologists and that, they were sending me over the edge to being suicidal.
Yeah.
I was sometimes so close to just going there, because they were making me worse. They weren't making me better at all. They were making me in a black hole.
Yeah. What would you say to those who are like on the fence, like about the program or working with me and what we do?
I'd say, my advice to anybody is, I would join your group. I wouldn't hesitate. You're going to get if you do the work, you ask the questions and you follow what you say and you do it on a daily basis, you're going to have a whole different life, a whole completely different life. You're going to actually live. I can hold my head high now and I can listen to birds. Before I joined your group, I walked with my face down, my head down. I was ashamed of myself. And I didn't even know there was new townhouses on my street. But since doing your course and that, you've just given me confidence. You've just taught me so much about myself. Now, this is the only way to go. And I would put my house on it. The only way to go is how you're teaching. If they want to get better, they've got to listen to you, put in the work, ask the questions, and their life journey is going to be so different. And that's honest.
I'm like riddled with goosebumps. And
no, but I'm being honest. Like, everyone else in the group hasn't gone through what I have because they're all younger. They haven't experienced everything I have. And like my story, if they knew what I went through to where I am today, and it's only been through you,
and
that would be proof.
Without going into heaps of detail, could you just maybe explain the things we've gone through in this program and started to uncover, like the things you've gone through a little bit?
Like, do you want me to explain what my life was kind of like?
Yeah, like your childhood, like what? Just a brief overview. You don't have to go into heaps of detail. But
no, my childhood was with a dysfunctional family. 2 siblings on heroin and one a prostitute. I was always made to walk on the other side of the road to my mother, and I was always told to put my head down. I was never loved or shown affection. I used to do everything. I was sexually abused by my brother for a couple of years and had a child. To him, that was taken from me naturally at 14. And then I met my first husband, who ended up being an alcoholic and a gambler. There's just so much more. He used to abuse me. My mother, just everything. I had the nervous breakdown. No one wanted to know me. Then I lost my mother. I lost my brother, the one that abused me, and I looked after him up until his death. After what he'd done, and then mum with dementia, then the house I built on my mother's property, I lost all that. It's just so much that's happened to me. Yeah, there's a lot more. Yeah, but I've been to hell and back.
Yeah, and this is why I'm so inspired to do this with you, because you definitely have been through hell and back. And have a look at you. Look how you are right now. You're present. You've just done so amazing. You're an inspiration to me and the whole group. You ask anyone in the group, you're an inspiration. And you're showing people what can happen no matter what you've been through. And this is
I just want to, thank you for that. I appreciate that. I just want people to know that you can manage it, but you can only manage it through being on this group. I just want to encourage people to listen and do the work that you're showing them to do. I don't want people to end up how I've been all my life. I don't want to see that. It breaks my heart. So I'd like to try and encourage people in the group. I mightn't be right for my answers, but I still feel at least if I can give them some sort of encouragement. I don't want anybody to have the life I had. Yeah. If you've got the trauma and things are happening, get on the group, understand it, get your help if they can't, and fix it now. It's never too late to learn.
Yeah, correct.
And I believe my learning lesson for everything I've gone through, maybe, to join your group.
Yeah.
And to be an encouragement to others to say, you know what, I've been to hell and back, shit, mate, but look at me now.
Exactly. You're an inspiration. I really appreciate you. I really do. And you give me goosebumps when I think about the story.
No, thank you. But like I said, you know a lot more of my stories, and it's been hard, and I've never ever had anyone to talk to in the family because they've always disowned me. Psychologists didn't want to know. Psychiatrists just get over it. But you listened, and especially with my brother and everything like that, you made me go in there and find the benefits, which I thought, oh, go, Aaron, what's the benefit of this shit that's happened to me? But there was a benefit. And once I found the benefit, it took away all the shame that I felt and everything, and I healed it.
Yeah.
And so anybody can heal anything if they do the work.
Yeah.
And the work is the main thing.
Exactly. And anyone watching, listening to that, and they might be triggered by listening that there's benefits to everything. I teach you all that kind of stuff. I don't recommend you just go find benefits straight away without any
No.
help. Okay, that's just a part of the thing we do to heal.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's true. It's things like that. It's really healing. So thank you very much, Diane. I'll let you go for now.
Thank you very much, Aaron.
So thank you, and keep up the good work. You're an inspiration.
You too.
You really are.
You. No,
You really
thank you. And thank you for taking the time.
That's all right. Thank you. Cheers.
Okay, talk to you soon. Cheers.
Yeah.